How's it going, YouTube? Chase.actual here. Today we're going to be looking at how to add and remove rows and cells from our table view application. And we're starting off right now in our table app, just as we left it in the previous video, which was creating and populating a table view application. If you haven't watched that one, simple enough to explain. All we have is a table view instance with 3 rows, and which are populated by an array that we have right here. Okay, so we're going to start off with removing, as it'll be the simplest. So we're going to start off in main.storyboard. We're going to click editor, embedded in, we're going to highlight this first. Edit, embedded in navigation controller. And this is used for, as it kind of spells out, for navigation through an app. Obviously, we're not just going to want to have one static view where, nothing else happens. So with that done, we're going to go back to our table view controller and we're going to change this let variable to a var. That way we can add to this array and remove from it as needed. Okay. Next, we're going to go to this viewDidLoad method. We have uncomment the following line to display an edit button. Simple enough. We're just going to uncomment that. And that'll have a little edit button right there in the top right corner for the table view. Next, we're going to just scroll down past our self-row at index path, skip this function and uncomment the override to support editing for table view. Okay, so for right here we have if editing style is equal to delete. So what we want to do is first of all, we want to delete the data from our table right there. So we're just going to say table rows dot remove, and at our index, and it's specified right here, we can say index path dot row, and that'll delete the corresponding element from this array. And next, we just want to uncomment this line right under it. It says table view delete rows at index path with a fade. And lastly, just for good measure, we're going to say table view dot reload data. All right, so let's go ahead and run our application. Now, it should load up here in just a second. Alright, so as you can see, we have this edit button right here as we created. So we'll go ahead and press that, and we get these little delete circles. And voila, works as simple as that. And also, interestingly enough, we don't even have to use this edit button to delete. So for instance, we can just, uncomment out or comment that out, and we'll run this again. And we can use simply just swiping the table cell to the left, and that'll bring us with the delete option right there, and boom, it works just as well. Alright, now we can move on to adding rows to our table view. So we're going to go back in here. I'm just going to go ahead and uncomment this edit button to show it. And we're going to go to our main.storyboard here, and to handle row selection, we're going to add a button right up here, and the system icon we're going to change to add, and we will option click our table view controller, and we will create an outlet for this by control dragging it here, and we'll just call it add row button. And next we will create a IB action for this. So we'll control drag again, change our outlet to action. We're just going to call this new row pressed. Okay. Now we're done with our storyboard, and go back here. And actually, I just noticed I have table view reload data in here twice, which obviously was on accident. We don't need it, but it doesn't hurt anything. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it just because. Okay, so to handle our selection of our rows, we're going to create a UI alert action which will prompt the user to enter some kind of text, and then we'll add that to our row. So below our IB action, we're going to create a new function. We'll call it add table row. Don't need to take in anything. And we're going to create an alert. We'll call it alert. And this is going to be UI alert controller. We're going to add a title to it. We'll say add row. Our message will be add text for new row. And our handler, our preferred style will be dot alert. Okay. Now that we've created a UI alert, let's go ahead and comment that what we're doing. Next, we're gonna add a text field to our alert. So we'll say alert dot add text field. We'll delete this. And we're just gonna say curly brace, parentheses, we'll call it text field, close parentheses. We'll say in text field dot placeholder. This will be just our placeholder text. We'll just say enter text here. Alright. With that, now we're gonna add the text field itself. We're gonna add a confirm button to read from the text field. So we're gonna say alert dot add action. This is going to be a UI alert action. We're going to give it a title of confirm. Our style will be .default. Our handler will be curly brace, bracket, weak alert, close bracket. And we're going to have parenthesis, underscore, parenthesis, underscore, parenthesis, in. Okay, and now we're going to let text equal our alert text fields, and since we've only created one, we'll access the first by the 0th index. And next we can say self. Since we're inside of this, we'll have to access self dot table rows dot append, and we're going to add in this text dot text, because remember this text is a UI text field. Okay, and we're probably going to have to force cast this, so we'll put exclamation, close parenthesis, and we will say self dot table view dot reload data, open close parentheses, and we will end that there. Alright, let's see what this is gonna give us here. I just didn't put a parenthesis right there. Okay. should be fine. Oh, we just added in a one of those. Okay, so there we go. Now, since we have this done, everything's set up. Now simply all we have to do is just present the view controller. So we're going to say self.present. It's going to be alert, animated, we're going to say true, and completion is going to be nil. So if we get to spell, all right. So, and then finally we're going to say present pop-up or present alert. All right. So look over that. If you didn't understand what's going on, it should be pretty apparent. Thankfully, Swift has a nice naming convention, and whenever we commit an action on our view controller, or sorry, on our alert rather, it'll automatically dismiss, so we don't have to worry about any of that. Okay, so now we should be able to just run this up. Let's bring up our simulator, install the app, and it's going to pop up with our first row back in there. That's because we haven't, it's just reading from this. We haven't saved any data, but same, here we go. We're going to go to our add button. Oops. Last but not least, we're going to go to our IB action, and we can just call this function add table row, and everything should be good to go. Let's go ahead and run our application. Our simulator, it's going to install. Now it will come back with the first row back, even though we deleted it, simply because we haven't saved any settings. We'll go over how to save user interactions later on, but as we can see before, we can delete whatever we want. Now when we press add, here we go. Here goes our title, add row, add text to the new row. We'll just say here is some text. We'll press confirm, and boom, there we go. Adds right there. Simply delete it just as we did before, and so forth. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.